Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there consisted a perfectly triangular lake surrounded by land, with 3 kingdoms on the 3 sides of the lake. The first kingdom was rich and powerful, filled with wealthy, prosperous people. The second kingdom was more humble, but it had its fair share of wealth and power too. The third kingdom was struggling and poor and barely had an army. The kingdoms eventually decided to go to war over the lake, as it was a valuable resource to have. The first kingdom sent 100 of their finest knights, clad in the best armor and each with their own personal squire. The second kingdom sent 50 of their knights, with fine leather armor and a few dozen squires of their own. The third kingdom sent one and only knight, an elderly warrior who had long since passed his prime, with his own personal squire. The night before the big battle, the knights in the first kingdom decided to drink and make merry, partying into the late hours of the night. The knights in the second kingdom weren't as well off, but had their own supply of grog and also drank late into the night. In the third camp, the faithful squire got a rope, slung it over the branch of a tall tree, made a noose, and he hung a pot from it. He filled the pot with stew, and had a humble dinner with the old knight. The next morning, the knights in the first 2 kingdoms were hung over and unable to fight, while the knight in the third kingdom was old and weary. Unable to get up in place of the knights, the squires from all 3 kingdoms went and fought. The battle lasted long into the night, but by the time the dust settled, only one squire was left standing, the squire from the third kingdom. And it just goes to show that the squire of the high pot and noose is equal to the sum of the squires of the other 2 sides.